It's a new day. It's a new week. There's a new movie out. Therefore, it's a new Yap session. As you might have guessed, today I'm going to talk about Scary Movie. Not Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 6. This is going to also be a new sort of thing where I just don't really edit because I don't have time to. Sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to give my sort of I just wanted to give my sort of raw thoughts on the film, because if I don't give it out now, or after I've just watched it, and I wait till I have free time to edit, then I won't have a video for you to give you guys because I'll forget everything. But what a movie! Like, okay, if you guys aren't familiar, the whole point of Scary Movie is that it's a parody film. What Scary Movie does is that it takes all of these horror tropes, characters, even just celebrities in general, and just puts them in a bunch of interesting circumstances, to say the least. Usually they're quite over the top, but that's the whole point. It's supposed to be that in your face, raunchy, dirty comedy. Um, and that's what it's known for. One and two are what movies that I watch probably way too much because there's always a joke that I go back to that's just funny and held up for its time. But there's also jokes that are quite the opposite of that, but the product of its time sort of thing. So then when, this one got announced, I was kind of excited because I was like, wow, it's, the Wayans brothers are back. They're directing. They were funny in the first two. Let's see what they can cook. And lo and behold, maybe parody movies just aren't the move in 2026. I don't know. Because you have this film, and this film starts off trying to do the same as one, where so one, it's very much a redo of Scream 1. It follows a very similar story beats, but all of the comedy comes from the same beat of the story, but changing it to fit in these comedic elements. But Scary Movie 6, it does a similar thing where the start is very much like Final Destination Bloodlines or Scream 6. And then it does that, and then it just abandons that straight away. And it ends up being just a bunch of these like mishashed, like sketch comedy, different sort of things. And overall, it's a very weird film, even to call it that. It feels more like a compilation of just like they had all these jokes and they need to just fit them in these different scenes and had the best way they could do it. But yes, okay, I'm going to go straight into spoilers. If you haven't guessed already, I will talk about spoilers. But what is there to say? So the main point of the film is that spoofing on Scream 6, or like spoofing on these reboot sequels, or rebooticals, as one of the characters say, is that there's the legacy characters from Scream 1, Scary Movie 1, and there's all of their kids. And it's all like, oh, there's Ghostface is back to kill us. Or no, it's Ghostface is back to harass us so then they can kill the legacy characters. Like, that's what the premise is. The very, very loose premise, but it's very much detached itself from that. So it very much just becomes like, how can we kill a character in the crazy way possible? How can we do a joke about hitting every sort of like demographic? It goes from there's a Gen 6 capital joke, which in context of which character it's for, actually, it is kind of funny. And then there's also like, it's very meta. Like the jokes are very meta. They make fun of Scary Movie 3 and 4 a lot, which personally I did like, but also I very much got tired of it straight away. And I think that's mainly the main criticism a lot of people will have about this film, because a lot of the jokes, like for example, the biggest joke of the film, from my knowledge, is the K-pop Demon Hunters joke, and that one, for the initial 10 seconds that you figure out this is a K-pop Demon Hunters joke. They're making fun of Golden, but it's Shorty. it was a bit funny. The initial shock reaction, very funny. And then the song drags out for a whole minute. And, you know, like sex in comedy is very interesting. It's very much dependent on how it's articulated and played for it to be funny. I personally don't really find those sort of jokes funny. That maybe I'll find it funny of the initial shock. But for me, it was kind of like 10 seconds, cool. K-pop Demon Hunters, that's a funny reference, whatever. And then it's just a minute of just pure awkwardness. And it happens a lot. There's also like another like other scenes that do that sort of thing. But I do want to give it credit where it's due. Like there are some good jokes in there. There's just a lot of not so good jokes in there, or jokes that should have ended like 3 scenes before. Like the white chicks joke was probably up there. Like white chick / the substance. White chick substance. The sinners joke was alright. The like all of the there was like references, like Shaq was in there talking about getting a bag for being with Dr. Phil. So yeah, it felt like the Wayans like had these jokes. They had these initial jokes, and I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm not the Wayans. I didn't write this movie, but you can tell what jokes are thought out well and what jokes were needed to pad out a scene. That's how I'm gonna write it. But I'm gonna be honest here, and is this a safe space, this unedited space that I'm in? It better be, guys. Comment down below. Comment down below if this is your safe space for films. But I kind of, because it's a parody movie, I kind of don't like the much discourse of how, like, it's super ass, it's so shit, like all these jokes aren't funny. Because I want I gotta say this is a hypocrite. Like, I get it because I just shat on it like 2 minutes ago. Like, it's so interesting. But it is a comedy film. It's always been just skits and shit. But the original films were more like together, like more like segmented and put together. This one is just more like, we want to get a joke at you per minute. We want to get just a banger, like, sorry, not really a banger, but a joke after joke after joke after joke. And it does deliver that. But if you're constantly putting in joke, it's not going to land every single time. Like, there's not I watched it in a pretty packed theater, and no, there wasn't there was a lot of jokes that no one laughed at, because like humor less subjective, guys. So I don't know. I think like when I thought about making this video, I was kind of like put in the middle where it's like, do I want to glaze it? Do I want to critique it? But then I think at the same time, it's just a parody film. Like, it's just a film that they made. They asked Anna Faris to come back for free. Like, they don't really gaff about like the quality of the film from the get-go. They're just there to make something that they created. They finally got permission to make something again. So I'll give them that. Granted, at the end of the day, if I was to rewatch Scary Movie, I wouldn't watch this one again. Or maybe I would if like, someone was like, oh, I haven't seen them all. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this film again. It's just like kind of a nothing burger. Because the other thing is, like, a lot of these films, for a lot of a wider population, all comedy films are like, ideally you watch once, because unless it's a really good, well thought out bit, it's really hard to get that same initial laugh when you hear the joke again. And this is not like the scenario of like, you say a joke, no one laughs, your friend says it, and it lasts a million times. Like, if you hear the same direction, same execution of the joke, you're not gonna laugh. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you guys are just full of smiles and I'm like cooked. But yeah. Basically, overall, my thoughts, to try and loop all what I've said for the past like 8 minutes back into this last second, is that don't think too hard when you watch this film. You're gonna find jokes that you like, if any. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that you see where you're like, this is kind of weird, makes me a bit uncomfortable. But that's what the series has been. Like there's scenes in 1 through like 5 that I'll enjoy, and then I'll anticipate that the next one because I don't like what I'm seeing, and then have to thug that out to get to the next joke. That's just been a thing for like with that whole franchise. So basically, laugh at what you want to laugh, enjoy life, and hopefully we get White Chicks 2 within the next year. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very unedited thing. I'm just trying to get something out so, people know I still exist while I'm preparing for my Elden Ring marathon. Shout out. That's in a week as of the time of recording this. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you do have any comments, put them in the comments down below. Tell me your favorite joke from this film if you've seen it. And tell me your least favorite joke from this film if you've seen it. But I'll leave you guys alone now. Take care.